What's going on, guys? WhiteFox1225 here with another video, and today we're going to be talking about Ashes of Creation, a new fantasy MMORPG that's on Kickstarter right now. Looking at how it's done so far on the Kickstarter, it's safe to say the game is going to be pretty huge, and the developers are definitely trying to do something different from other MMOs on the market, and they're bringing a lot of new ideas to the table. In this video, I'm going to tell you everything you have to know about the game and what you can expect to see when it actually is released. The focus of the game is to create a living world that reacts to the actions of the players inside of it. And they're going to do it in a couple ways, but probably the most prominent and the most important is the node system in the game. So the game world is broken up into these different nodes, and as players quest, grind, craft, or really do anything that gains experience inside of that node, the node also gains experience. And as the node, that area of the game world, gains experience, it will start to change and become more developed. Cities and villages will pop up, and the more players do things in that area, the more developed it will be. This means that on one server where players play in this one area, it will have a gigantic city, and in another server where people don't play there as much, it could be completely empty. It all depends on the actions of the players, and that's really the point of the whole game. On top of that, the world is constantly changing, the weather changes with every season. At any time, a volcano could erupt and destroy a city. Maybe a dragon attacks a city and players have to decide whether to defend it or just abandon the city. Players could even get together and conquer an enemy city just to destroy it. So really, the world is constantly evolving, and it feels like a living, breathing, and changing place even when you log off, and I think a lot of players are really going to appreciate that. Also, depending on what players do in their server, the story will be different and different quests will appear. One server may have one main villain and another could have a completely different main villain, and that all depends just on what the choices the players have made. Maybe players have built a city in an area that woke up an ancient dragon and now they have to defeat it, and that would never happen on another server unless that city is built in that exact spot. You're going to experience different storylines based on the decisions the community makes, which to me is pretty exciting because I'm not sure we've really ever seen that in MMO, where the story changes not just based on the decisions you made, but what the community decided to do as a whole. Another really unique part of the game is the non-faction based PvP system. It seems like players will be able to fight each other at any time, and they can even lay siege to different cities and destroy them at any time. Now, the game counts on different factions sort of forming naturally. For example, if someone is laying siege to a city that I live in, I'm obviously going to try to help defend it and group up with players who are doing the same thing. Cities that border each other will struggle over power, so conflict is somewhat inevitable. The only thing I do worry about, of course, is players just randomly killing each other all the time, so hopefully there will be some sort of system to punish that and make sure that doesn't get out of hand. But I will say that I really like the freedom they're giving players with their PvP system. The game will also have a stronger emphasis on economy than most other MMOs. Like the Elder Scrolls Online, the game won't have an auction house. You'll actually have to physically go to a vendor to buy items. However, the system here is a little bit more advanced, where players can set up caravans and the economy is influenced on what resources are available to different players in different nodes. There will be player housing in the game, and from the looks of it, it's going to be pretty extensive. It looks like you can build some pretty huge compounds. I think that's really important in a game like this, so you'll feel connected to the world around you and loyal to the area you live in. In total, there's going to be 8 different races and classes to choose from, and it does look like the game will have a subscription fee as well. The graphics also look amazing, as good, if not better, than pretty much anything else on the market. I really like the high fantasy art style they're going for. My biggest problem with a lot of MMOs is I can't get into the art style. The Elder Scrolls Online is probably my favorite, but I really like this one too. That sort of realistic fantasy look is something I'm really into. Now, one last thing I want to say is I usually worry about MMOs that are on Kickstarter. A lot of times they make a lot of promises that never materialize, and the game just comes out and is not as good, or just never comes out. But this game has been funded $1.5 million so far, which is absolutely crazy. I just cannot believe that. That kind of money just makes me hopeful that the game will get out somewhat soonish, and the developers also said that this isn't one of those games where they'll make a lot of promises and nothing happens. Whether that's true, we'll have to wait and see, but again guys, I'm pretty hopeful that this game will be out in a kind of a timely manner. Anyway guys, I hope this video helped you learn about what the game is all about. I'll put a link to the Kickstarter in the description if you want to check it out and maybe support the game. We'll have lots more videos on MMOs and RPGs coming soon. We have an awesome ESO video in the works, as well as a video on Gloria Victis, a new MMO that I've been playing, and I'll give you guys my first impressions on that and stuff. So stay tuned for all of that content. If you liked the video, give it a like. Thank you guys so much for watching as always, and I will see you in the next one.